Hey man, how's it going? My name is Snazzy Patty, and it's good to be back. I know, from the channel's perspective, I ain't been gone. That's because your boy was smart and recorded some videos in advance and scheduled them to upload. I haven't recorded like a week. I took like a week off. But anyways, man, without further ado, we got another video for us to react to. This is called Unavoidable Male Canon Events. This is by OneCloud9, man. As always, go check out the original video. The link will be down in the description below. But without further ado, let's lock in. Let's watch this video.
Male Canon events. First up, fumbling a 10 out of 10. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the worst ones in my opinion. Reason why we've all been through this. There's always been that one girl that you thought you had in the bag. I mean, she was fine, beautiful, gorgeous. I mean, in your mind, she goes band for band with SZA, Lotto, and Ruby Rose. Like, you feel me? If for some wild reason you think you actually have...
Yo, I just noticed he's using a whole ass wooden spatula to hold his mic. Yeah, I like that. That's actually really fucking
chance
cool.
With that girl, you try to get
That's
her,
unique.
and you're doing good, and then randomly one day she just goes. And for the rest of that week, you're just contemplating, scrolling through your text.
Nah, man, this happens to everybody. Maybe not as early. Maybe some of y'all haven't experienced this yet, but it gonna happen eventually. Shit, for some of us, it happens more than once. So,
looking at what you could possibly have done wrong, thinking maybe she forgot about the text, maybe you said a weird joke, or just something random. Just what?
Hey man, she was just using you for entertainment and she moved on. Time for you to do the same. Keep your head up, soldier, and keep it pushing.
Ever your brain can imagine for her to actually ghost you, because of course it's not just you. Well, nigga, hate to break it to you, she likes a guy and it's not you. Game is game. And the worst part about it is that oftentimes the next week she ends up hard launching with her new man, and when you see him, it's somebody you don't.
Nah, if that happens, bro, valid crash out, honestly, is valid if you have a crash out. Nah, I can't say that. That's honestly, that's gonna look embarrassing on your behalf, bro. Don't do that.
Don't even think is better than you. Well, brother, hate to break it to you, but he is. And then when they eventually break up, you're gonna be right back on her feet, begging for her to take you back. But before that,
don't do that.
Go through that. I hate that phase. After every man goes through a heartbreak, they always hate the girl for a little bit. It's inevitable, bro. Every single.
It gonna happen. But my advice during this phase, right? Lock the fuck in. Get on your gym timing, get on your money grinding, all that. Get your shit up. Just so that when she spins back, you could just show and like be like, I didn't need you. I made a come up without you. Because that's honestly gonna feel better in the long run. Because say she spins back and you somehow bag her, right? How long you think that's realistically gonna last? Couple months? A year at most? It's gonna end inevitably. So just keep it pushing, get your shit up, and make her look stupid for playing with you like that. That's my best advice, honestly.
Bad thing that you've noticed and garnered about her in the past couple of years, it just kind of comes flowing back into your brain in one rushing, angry moment until it eventually boils over and you realize you don't really hate her. You're just sad that she's gone. But you still go through the phase though. Then you get sad and you're a little bit depressed and you're wondering why it didn't work out. Maybe you'll never find love again. Maybe something else won't happen. I don't know. You just stress. But usually you end up doing all of this stressing late at night, which leads you to the third male canon event, 3 a.m. motivational.
Hey, real quick, before we move on to this, you can hate the bitch, right? Damn, that felt really aggressive using that. My apologies. You can hate the female. Just don't do toxic shit and be petty about it. Just keep it all internal. Use it as motivation. Because, yeah, eventually the hate, the sadness, it's all going to pass, and eventually you're not even going to care about it for real.
Out. I can speak for all of us. We've all been through. Whether it was a breakup or a heartbreak, or maybe you just realized you're a bum. You went through that phase where you thought at 3 a.m. in the morning you was...
No, because this was dead ass me. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 8 years old in my bedroom looking up how to get abs, 10-minute YouTube videos, or whatever, those little workout videos, 5-minute get abs. Because apparently 8-year-old me thought, you know, I'm going to get abs, and all the 20-year-old females gonna want me. Even though I'm 8 years old. And sound like Alvin and the Chipmunk and am like 4 foot flat. It never happened.
It's gonna change the world. You started doing push-ups, started watching David Goggins videos, and you're up all night feeling motivated and thinking that you're finna rule the world. You're finna be the most swole, chiseled, drizzled, gizzled, diggled, fadiddled, top tier man that you can be. And then you wake up after you pass out on the floor from doing all of them push-ups. Look at your surroundings. Realize your room is...
Nah, that is crazy. If you went to the point where you fell, like passed out on the floor, that's commitment.
so dirty. And then eventually come to the realization that you'll never be that guy. But you know something else that can send you into this motivational arc? Canon event number 4, going bald. I promise you, every single
person...
person...
no, because you're chopped. Well, no. There's 2 outcomes, right? Of going for the bald / buzz cut. It depends if you're going bald or buzz cut. If you're going buzz cut, you have more of a chance of looking good. If you go bald, unless you're over the age of 30 and have facial hair, you're gonna look chopped, right? It's gonna be bad. But anyways, if you get a buzz cut and you look fine, good. You found a haircut you can rock with that's, nice. You don't really, get it cut, keep it low. You don't really gotta do anything with it, It's actually pretty useful. That's if you have a good head shape and look good with it. Most likely, you're gonna look like shit though. But that's okay. Because you look like shit. Ain't no female's gonna want you looking like shit. So this is your moment to focus on every other aspect of yourself, right? Personality, your mind, spiritual, money, friendships, family, everything else besides a female. Worry about everything else. Get everything else. Because by the time your hair grows back and you're looking good again, hopefully you got most of that, some of that, figured out.
Watching this video has gone through this phase, and most of the time it's because of your dad. Brother, I am gonna tell you right now, for the first 5 years of my life, I had to be completely butt naked Michael Jordan bald. Because when my dad was 20,
I did that once. I was like 5, and I was like, I want to look like my dad. Buzz that shit straight bald to the skin. Never going that route. Never. I'll get a toupee.
28, he stopped growing hair, and ever since that day, he decided that he didn't want me to grow hair either. And it was the most aggravating thing of my life. And
not his dad being insecure about his son's hair. He a child. Of course he gonna have hair.
I'm sure every single one of y'all went through that same thing. And the worst part about it is that after he allowed me to have hair, he only allowed my hair to get to a certain length, which is known as the bald phase, which most of us have gone through, especially black children. And the worst part about this is that
I've had a lot of friends growing up that had that haircut. I'm not gonna lie. And they were stuck with that hair pretty much till middle school, even sometimes high school.
When I was growing up, the mohawk was very popular. It was during the LaMelo, Odell mohawk phase, and everybody and their mother wanted a mohawk. And I wanted that so bad, but no, I couldn't get it because my dad said, and I quote, if you get a mohawk,
is that like the equivalent of the white guy's modern mullet right now?
You have to walk around naked everywhere because the Mohawk tribe did. Yeah, I don't know why that nigga said that. That was some fucked up shit. But basically, he was just trying to get me to be bald like him. So, hey, yeah, I guess it kind of worked. For a little bit.
What do Native Americans got to do with this? Look, man, you never seen people with the really long spiked mohawk saying that shit. What?
Now we got these.
Okay, what the fuck?
But something else that dads
that was a crazy transition.
Was help them around the house. And one thing that I know for sure that we all went through was our dads getting mad at us when we didn't hand them their tools fast enough. My brother in Christ, I have almost been shot, almost lost my life. Heck, I thought I had AIDS at one point. But I have never been more scared in my life than when I used to help my dad do work around the crib. Because
hey man, hold that flashlight still. That's all I'm gonna say.
For some reason, dads just have a big fascination with doing mechanical work around the house. And while they're actively doing this act of stupidity, most likely messing up the whole house, they decide to exert their...
Because they gotta... It's a mix of they want to save money and not pay for a professional, and also the ego coming into play of I'm the man of the house, I can fix my own shit. I don't need another grown man coming into my house. Especially if they got a wife. You know what I mean? It's just... It gonna hurt the ego.
Their frustrations on their kid that they told them to help. And my brother in Christ, I know every single person watching this video can relate. If you didn't hand your dad that tool as soon as he asked you to, or if you moved a tiny little bit when he asked you to shine the flashlight somewhere, the amount of anger and rage that man will exert onto your body would be scarier than meeting a polar bear in the Arctic who hasn't eaten for weeks. And honestly, I've experienced a lot of trauma from doing stuff like this. Like the amount of trauma I've gone through from just holding tools is probably equivalent to the slaves back in olden times. But after this, as a kid, you can get pretty traumatized, scared, but also angry from what your father did. So angry that you even think about potentially fighting him. It would also be the worst mistake you ever made in your life because he will beat your ass. Every single...
My dumbass made this mistake when I was 11 years old. I thought I was hot shit. It didn't end well. I'm gonna leave it at that.
man in his life has thought about fighting his dad. I say fighting for a reason because you will never beat him. I don't know what it.
Hey man, I just gotta say, man, he's really going off of like this video. You gotta have a dad for this to relate to, man. It's like the second time he's brought up having a dad. Either.
You will never lose to his son, period. Especially if it's fist. Like, you could be 6'5", 280. Matter of fact, you made John Jones call you his pappy. But as soon as you run into your 5'9" father, he will beat the living breaks out of you. And even though
because he's gonna be cheap with it too, because again, it's the ego. You can't have your son kick your ass. I'll be damned if I have a kid and he ever kicks my ass. I better be crippled, Alzheimer's, in a wheelchair. And even still, then I better get a couple good licks on his ass. Better yet, no, best believe I will be. There is no ifs, ands, or buts when it comes to that. Because if your kid kicks your ass, he's the man of the house now. He tells you to go to the room. He tells you to take out the trash now. What are you going to do? He going to kick your ass again. He knows he can now. You got to win the fight as the dad.
Both wanted to fight our father. We none of us have actually did it because we knew the reality of that. I actually almost did it one time, and there's a reason why I said almost, because I realized very soon that I would get my ass absolutely plastered. And I love my life way too much to ever do that to myself. Once you realize that you can't possibly beat your father, you go from fight to flight. Which leads me to thing number 6, running away. Every man has thought of.
I don't know if that correlates like that, you know? that's not how that went. I feel like most, especially because you don't really want to fight your dad till puberty hits. That's when the testosterone starts to hit your system. And I remember wanting to run away when I was like 5. You know? Before I even knew what a fist was.
About running away from home. Brother, I cannot explain to you how many times I thought about running away as a kid. The crazy part about it is I live in a 2-parent household, suburban home, live in Nashville, Tennessee, a predominantly white city. I live in the suburbs of the suburbs. You will see white people walking their dogs and kids playing in the street. I live a good life. I had a good childhood. I even went to private school. But for some reason, whenever my mom pissed me off or my dad did something I didn't want to like, I always thought about getting a big ass stick, a little red piece of cloth, tying it together, and putting all of the important stuff in my life, like the PS4 in the sack, and walking right out. I feel like this is a Canon event, not just for guys. I feel like it's everybody.
I think I don't think I've ever left the house. I don't know. I might have to ask my mom or something later if I've ever actually left the house on running away type shit. I've packed my bags. I've definitely packed my bags.
We as men are the ones who are actually the closest to doing it. Because I'm not gonna lie, one time I literally started packing my bags because my mom pissed me off so much. And I was almost done doing it. I was so close to committing. And then I realized how badly my mom would beat my ass if I actually ran away. So I just stayed. That's what usually happens, because it's never worth the beating, because they will find.
Yeah, I was just too scared to actually take that step and be like, all right, I'm out of this hoe. Fuck y'all. And actually start going for it. I would pack my bags, stay in my room, get hyped up, get mad, and then cry myself to sleep, probably. I don't remember. I feel that sounds pretty accurate, though.
But usually that type of stuff would happen when you get grounded. And something else you would do when you're grounded is thing number 7, reading a diary of Wimpy Kid. I don't know why
that's
we all
culture. This is culture right here. For any of the youngins watching this, all right? By that I mean, like, anything below, I guess, 18 now? Shit. 16-year-olds reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid? I don't know. Anyways, this shit is good books right here. These are good books. I don't know about this one, though. Movie Diary? I don't know. But the first one, Roderick Rules, Last Straw, Dog Days, Ugly Truth, every single one of these, great books. Peak, probably the first 4.
But we all read that book in our floor whenever our parents took away our phones or our PS4s or whatever. Like, it was just Canon event to the fullest. And if you wasn't a guy, if you was a girl, you would probably read the Dork Diaries. I feel like guys also read the Big Nate books, stuff like that. It's
Big
just that
Nate was
same type of category, John.
Big Nate, Magic Treehouse, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I had this one audiobook called Girls, Drums, and Pies or something like that. And I listened to that on a repeat for like a month straight.
And I would always get those books at the Elastic Book Fair too, bro. Cause like, nigga, whenever that boy Jeff Kenny cooked up a book, I ain't gonna lie, niggas was on they seats, on they toilet, locked into them joints. I'm not gonna lie. But something that's also,
this would be embarrassing, but I never could remember when the day was coming up, so I never bought a book from the Scholastic Book Fair.
So tough though is number 8. Realize that you'll never go pro in the sport you love. You know, as a man, I feel like this is actually the most heartbreaking thing you can go through. Because yeah, fumbling a 10 out of 10 is bad, but there will always be more fish in the sea. With your sport though, you only really get one chance at this. And once you
man, I knew I wasn't going pro when I was like 11. A lot of shit happened that when I was 11 years old. I realized how short I really was going to be. And I wanted to be a quarterback. That wasn't going to happen. Gave up right then and there.
finally had that moment of realization that you will never go pro in your sport, whether it's basketball.
But at least I realized early on, and I'm not one of the motherfuckers holding on to a dream when I'm 40 plus years old.
Football. It's truly one of the most heartbreaking things you can ever go through. I remember I was a big basketball player back in middle school, and when I got to high school, I thought it was going to be the same thing. And then one random day, Darius Garland pulled up to my local gym, and I realized very quickly that NBA was never going to be a reality. But I was delusional, so I thought, you know what, maybe if I really ball out my freshman year, I can get some looks. You know, I could really go crazy in a good route leading up to my senior year. Well, I was a JV bench player. And I was good too. I was averaging like 20 points a game, but the coaches just didn't mess with me. But then I thought, you know what, maybe the coaches are just, you feel me, purely hating on me, which they were. But then I thought, you know what, maybe I need to transfer somewhere to get more PT. Maybe that's what I really needed. And then I realized that I was never finna grow past the height of 5'9". Yeah, I haven't grown since freshman year. So yeah, I'm basically
hey man, same here. 5'6", so I got it worse, I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't never grown since freshman year.
On Friday. But every man has to go through that phase to realize they're just a regular guy. Just because every motivational speaker tells you that you can do whatever you want in this life doesn't mean you actually can do it. I'm just keeping it real. Because I'm sorry, buddy, if you're 5'4" and you're trying to be an NBA basketball player in this economy, in this league, I'm gonna be honest, brother, we have Wimby's playing point guard, bro. You're not Muggsy Bogues, bro. Another tough realization.
That's his name? What's that, Bugsy?
Realizing that you're in the friend zone. And I don't care who you think you is. We've all been in this category. As a guy, we've all thought once, if we were a good enough friend to a girl, that she would eventually crack and decide to settle down with us. But another canon event that we've all been through is realizing that that's not how life works. As a matter of fact, she actually knows that you like her, yet she doesn't care and she'll still use you for free car rides, free money, free food, and free attention.
See, I'm sorry, doing this is low-key a L play. Doing this with the expectations is the problem, right? You could be friends with a female, gain attraction or whatever, or even be attracted to them, be friends with them, but not have the expectations or whatever. Keep it platonic, and then if shit happens. But to go in with the expectation, I don't know how I feel about that.
This is one of the toughest realities we had to learn as a man, but every man has to go through it. I remember I was 13 and there was this girl I liked and she broke her foot. So I offered literally carry her around the school because we were just good friends. She actually ended up getting pregnant by another guy at 13, but that's
Whoa! Hold on. Ooh, we need that. We need that story. Hold on, you can't just drop that shit and just move past.
But another pain that we all had to go through is going to the bathroom in a public setting and not knowing the urinal rule. And every single guy watching this video knows exactly what I'm talking about. I remember as a kid.
Oh yeah, no, urinal rule. That's simple. Everybody knows it. I could honestly probably skip this because most people that watch these videos are probably males anyways. But real quick, what y'all think about me doing storytime videos? I was thinking about that at work. Maybe put some gameplay in the background or something like that and just talk about... I got a couple stories I could probably tell. I definitely got a couple of stories. I don't know how many, but, I'm not going to milk it, obviously, and think of every little boring story throughout my life that's happened. But definitely some iconic ones I think would be some good entertainment. Let me know what y'all think.
It was at my school, and it was like a student-teacher day or whatever, I don't know. And for some reason, the parents were on campus. And I walked into the bathroom, and there was a grown-ass man using the left urinal. And the middle and right one were open. And according to the urinal rule, if there's 3 urinals, you have to use the left, you have to use the right, and there's the center one, so only one available, you wait your turn. Unless they have blockers and binders where you don't gotta see another man's pee. But as a kid, I did.
It depends on the size of the wall. Like, I don't know, man, because... if they're tiny, bro, like if this is a couple inches, bro, I still feel like that's just way too exposed, personally. I don't know about y'all, that's just how I feel about it. I'd rather have like a half wall at least, you know what I mean? If not I don't even know, something, shit, just at that point, honestly, I prefer just go to using stalls, honestly. Just even if I have to piss, I'll use the stall. I don't care.
didn't know that, so I ended up using the middle one right beside him. And I remember to this day, the look that this man gave me was a look of absolute disgust. I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as he got done pissing, turned to me, patted me on the back, and said, "Son, heads up, whenever you use the bathroom, you never piss right beside another man." I've never seen that man ever again, but
How old were you when this happened? I don't think a grown man should be touching a little boy in a bathroom, no matter the context.
thank that man for truly changing my life. But this is one of those rules that once you learn it, never forget it, or else niggas will clown you. Something else that we've all been through in the bathroom, though, is being around that one kid who decides to just pull down his whole pants just to take a little piss in the urinal. Back in elementary school, you know, brother.
Elementary? I had people doing this in middle school. Middle school. Pulling their fucking pants down. Hairy ass cheeks, bro. What the fuck? You can't even do anything. You walking in, you opening the door, you on your phone, you go to look up, boom! What the oh? What was I supposed to do? There was no warning. It's like I walked into a fucking flashbang.
This one was horrible. Usually it will be the special ed kids, but at the same time, it's like, brother, please have some common sense. That's such a great statement.
No, the parents have a responsibility to teach your kid. I'm sorry. Any parents, you have a responsibility to teach your kid how to go properly to the bathroom out in public. There is a difference between how you want to go however you want at home. Go upside down on the toilet. I don't care. Flip it around. All right? I don't care. Pull that shit down to your ankles when you're at home. When you're out in public, have some decency.
And usually they would be farting too, and they would just stink. And
that's
at the
gross.
same time, we've all done it
Go
when
in
we
the
was
stall.
younger, and then we had a grown man walk into the bathroom and instruct us to never do that again, and then we changed our ways. Something that we haven't changed
Y'all had to
as
get taught
guys
this
is number
shit,
11
man.
or 12. I don't know at this point. Putting your hands in your pants for warmth on an ice cold freezing day. This one I know we've all done. I'm actually doing it right now. I'm not gonna lie. And no matter if you want to be honest or deny it, we've all done it. Let's just keep it real. And it's amazing. It's one of
I've had to walk home in some brutal winter conditions from school growing up. That was the method when the gloves weren't doing the trick, man. It was just too windy. That was the method.
the most sensational feelings ever. You get to put your hand next to life. It's amazing. I don't know. It's just vibey.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
You got to be very careful where you do this act, because doing it while nobody's around is cool, but if you're in a crowded room space and you just got your hands in your pants, like, brother, who raised you? That's where the creep allegations come in, and you don't want that. They don't understand, but at the same time, let be classy. But speaking of balls, the next Canon event that we've all been through is chilling around the house playing GTA or Fortnite or something, and then all of a sudden, randomly, you just feel a sharp pain in your balls, and you just start clenching them. You start grabbing them. You start praying to God because you
Hey man, this happened like a couple months ago.
You'll never have kids again. You
Not
start
even,
wondering
like,
if you have
ago.
cancer, or maybe you got an STD, or maybe if you gooned too much. I don't know.
Nah, I be thinking that my shit got twisted. You know what I mean? I be feeling like that's what I'm worried about, because I know that can happen. Your shit can get twisted and cut your bloodstream off, and there goes your boys. Or something like that. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna hold you.
You did. And then after it goes away, you immediately get on your knees and pray to God, promising him you would never jerk off again.
The panic is
and then
real.
3 nights later, you end up jerking off again. But hey, game is game. But after you goon, you get a negative feeling. You feel shame. You promise to God you will never do it again. Yet you feel defeated. See, this right here is what we call post-nut clarity, which is the
good
next
transition,
event, and
despite
probably
the context.
most popular one. Because the only time that you won't feel this is after the first one you do. Back when you were most likely younger, which is sick, honestly. It's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
That so many little kids are gooning, but it's whatever, I guess. And after that first goon,
I can only imagine what the ages are nowadays.
you felt alive. You felt like you just discovered the
I don't
greatest
want to
thing
imagine
on
that.
earth.
Hold
Then
on,
after
don't
that
take that out
second
of
one,
context.
you really
No, clip that.
quickly realized that you just formed and started an addiction that you'll be very lucky to get out of. There's downhill, and you just keep on getting more downhill until you eventually stop and become a better human being, which a lot of y'all haven't done. Let's just keep it real. At the same time, though, you'll never escape post-nut clarity, even though I had one homie who did it like 10 times a day, and apparently he just stopped having it, but he also looked very depressed, so I think he just had it permanently. Y'all already know what I'm finna say, though.
10 times a day, bro. Touch some grass, bro. Talk to a real female. That's bad, bro. And that's your outlet with depression? Shit, at least I do drugs. That's wild, man. I mean, everybody got their vices and shit, but that's wow. I don't want to judge too much. Shit, but if you're picking gooning as your vice or comfort for your depression, it's kind of weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Game is game, jizzle is jizzle, and don't fiddle your pickle. Let's get to it. But it's a part of being a man, and
Word
game
too.
is game, and that's just how life is. When you retain that, though, you will get superpowers. Powers that would never be feasible to that average gooning man. And you do that as soon as you get into the next canon event, aka semen retention. Every single man has gone through this. I don't care what y'all say. We've all gone through semen retention. We thought that by holding our seed, we would turn into spiritual sow or something. In all reality,
I've never thought about it like that's not my mindset. I was just like, hey, I just don't want to do it as much. You know what I mean? The post nut clarity got me feeling guilty. Let me not do it. It's never been like I gotta protect my boys down there. Like I need every last drop for what?
You kind of do. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of get superpowers. You feel like you can move mountains, start thinking more clearly, you start getting more ideas. There's really no negative to holding your seed. And then
There's definitely no negative.
But I have to say,
but there's also no negative to doing as long as you're not doing it 10 times a fucking day.
time we keep on going. But the first time you go on this path, you think you're a superior human being, though. You think you're better than everybody because you can hold your seed, and you call all of the regular 1 to 2 time a week gooners peasants in your eyes. You think they're just weak, inferior beings, and that's just how you will think until you eventually become one of them again. Game is game. But the last canon event I want to talk about is video games falling off as you get older. This one's more of a maturity thing. As you get older, I don't know if it's just me, but like video games just aren't as fun anymore. Like the only games I play now is NCAA, and it's really just to cool down and just to beat my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I can't get.
Yeah, no, I have so many games on stream that or on Steam that I literally have in a folder for stream, and I want to get the YouTube gaming channel going, guys. I really do. But I just never got the motivation to really do it. Like when I do have the time to sit there and actually play for like an hour or two, I either don't want to play or I don't want to play a game for stream. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the energy to commentate, and I rather just sit there in silence and play the game. And even then, it's just not the same anymore when I do get that time. Like, even if, like, say I have a whole day to myself, no responsibilities, I could not just sit there. Within, like, 2 hours, I would have to stop, and I wouldn't probably hop back on for another, like, 4 hours. I can't get immersed into the games like I used to, and it sucks. Because it's also like, why even bother buying games anymore?
Immersed in a game nowadays like I did back when I was younger. Maybe it's because I have responsibilities, or maybe it's just because games fell off. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of sad. Hopefully GTA 6 can bring that back out of me. But
hey man, we hoping. I'm gonna call out for work that day. That's a fact. Hey boss, I'm sorry to let you know, but I'm not coming in today. Oh, why not? GTA 6 drop. But yeah, man, I am hoping to get the gaming channel going up again, get back into the live streaming, playing games and stuff like that. Like I said, I want to do more types of variety content on the main channel here besides just reactions. I want to get back into my scripts and my commentaries and do some other stuff like story times, or maybe checking out Reddit stories or whatever the case is. You guys let me know what you want to see, of course. But yeah, man, no, I really do. I want to get back into my gaming. I want to try to get the gaming channel up and running. I want to get into the streaming again, so that way I could just stream, post the gaming stuff there after I, stream, download, edit, post. Boom, done. Along with that, obviously, I want to, like I said, get into do some story times, do some other stuff besides just reactions, get back into my commentary videos, maybe some tier lists. Who knows? Let me know what you guys want to see. But that's pretty much the end of this video. So, as always, the link to the original video down in the description below. Go show your love and support. Also, make sure you show your love and support to my video. Like, subscribe, on post notifications. Let me know anything else you want me to react to. But, hey, man, as always, stay safe, stay snazzy, stay blessed.